Ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you actually why you're going to succeed as a trader. With statistics ranging from 95 to 98% of all traders failing, it's very easy for me to go over all the reasons why traders fail, and they are very important to learn. But what if we went over a blanket statement to show literally why traders will succeed? I am Mark Melnick, and this is the Newsbeat Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. This is not going to be a long video, so if you just give me a few minutes of your time, I really fight more, I feel, than most people in the world to help turn traders successful, if nothing better than sheer time, whether you want to argue if I do as successful of a job as anybody else. I mean, that's obviously a matter of opinion, but based on what I see, I've been able to help thousands and thousands of traders turn their lives around, traders who are losing consistently into making money consistently. And that is one of the things that I do best in this world. It is one of my talents is being able to teach people how to trade effectively. I always say there's a huge difference between a good teacher and a good trader. And to actually find a bridge between the two is very difficult. And once that bridge is formed, that trader's strategy must be able to be applied to a large group of people, and then it becomes even harder. The truth is, I have never met anyone on Wall Street who was ever able to connect all three together. I've been a trading broadcaster for, I'm going to be going on my 13th year next year, and about 12 and a half years? Well, no, since February. Almost 13 years. 13 years this February of 2020. So I've been a trading broadcaster for 12 years, and I, in the beginning, never understood the point of building these bridges. I mean, there's a difference between, again, somebody who trades well, somebody who teaches you well, and then somebody who's teaching you something that is most likely to succeed for you, which is why I try to dumb things down. A lot of times when traders come, you're coming from a previous bias situation. Maybe you are learning forms of technical analysis over the years that you'll swear by. Do you know, when I ask, when it comes to among traders, if your technical analysis, how many people here type in 11 and just answer honestly? Do you think your technical analysis right now is better than half of the other traders? I think so. I think my technical analysis is better than if you take every trader in the world and divide that number by two. I believe I am in the upper half. Most traders do. It's funny that over 90% of those people, 90% of the people who answer this question will answer yes, that they do believe they're smarter than over half of technical analysts out there. Now, I, from a very biased standpoint, could say, oh, well, if you're in my room, of course you're better than half, and I'll swear by it and bet anything I can against that. But here's the funny part. Did you know that 78% of Americans think that they're smarter than the average American? Now, trading, believe it or not, has very little to do with intelligence. There's certain aspects of trading where intelligence is a huge benefactor. However, to say that it is a necessary factor, for example, to have a high IQ or to be extremely creative, would be a fallacy and a far stretch of any imaginary truth that I could portray. However, if you're sitting there and you're looking at trading, you could say, well, you're saying you don't have to be smart, right? Is it good to be smart? Depends. Sometimes being smart is not beneficial unless you use it correctly. It's like, for example, if you were going into the UFC and you wanted to do professional mixed martial arts, and for a large period of my life, I had not only hoop dreams to be in the NBA, but I had mixed martial arts dream. I come from a very rich martial arts background. My uncle trains the Israeli judo team in Israel. He, won medals in the 1984 Olympics. Melnick, same family, same relation. And it sort of was, I felt like one of those things that it was in my blood. Now, if you told me with strength, it would be really strong, would that be a good thing to be a mixed martial art fighter? And you would say, well, of course it would. Of course it would. Now, what if I wasn't a mixed martial art fighter? What if I wasn't an MMA fighter and I had anger management issues where I would strike people randomly on the street? Would it be good to be strong then? No, because I'd get in a lot more trouble because I could seriously hurt someone. The same analogy is applicable to trading. The truth is, you all have strengths and weaknesses which are different from somebody else. Every time that you are in a room around you, there is somebody in that room that does something better than everyone else in that room, and that will always be true, no matter where you are, whether even if you're with a 1 year old, there is something that 1 year old does better than you, whether you realize it or not, whether the 1 year old realizes it or not. There is always something that you could do better. But as somebody who I consider myself a decent trader, I consider myself a trader who can make a living and be successful. That's one thing out of the way. I consider myself a trader who can build a bridge between teaching people how to trade and trading for myself. The truth is, the most people who try to do it don't do it well. Most of the people who actually can't do it well, they do things like flash P&Ls, which I did for a couple months, and I just honestly, it just gets boring after a while because I don't want you to have faith in what I am teaching you based on the facts that I am financially on that aspect successful, maybe not on Warren Buffett's terms, but on most, human beings here on the planet. So then, after I had those two pieces together, I had to bring in the third piece. How do I actually, teach you something that you're most likely to learn? For example, there are traders who swear by the 43-57 paradigm, where they can mathematically explain to you why batting 45%, 52%, 46%, 50%, 57%, 43%, why batting that much but making 2x, 3x, 4x when you're right, as opposed to losing 1x when you're wrong. And they can mathematically show you why you should make hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of dollars, depending on how heavy you're going per trade. The problem with that is that math does lie. You see, you're coming from somebody who is a hardcore math nerd, 800 math SATs, loves simple mathematics. Like I don't enjoy like calculus, and it's not it's not my thing. I don't enjoy. If I have to sit there with a piece of paper and write down numbers, I already do not like mathematics. But, even explaining it to me, I have to figure out a way in which I could teach you something that's very simple. So 2 days ago, I gave you a challenge where I said to you guys, can you make 10 cents on a trade? People are like, yeah, yeah, definitely. I say, the funny part is the things that I'm going to show you right now and how to make that 10 cents, that's the easy part. The hard part is stopping everything else you're doing around that. That's actually the difficult part. And a lot of you are sitting here saying, oh, this is whatever. I'm not here to make 10 cents. You don't get it. If you're saying that right now and you're losing money, you don't understand one thing that I'm doing. So let me explain. It's not your fault. It's my fault for not explaining that to you. A lot of traders come to me and they already have a foundation of trading. That's a bad foundation. You know what they do with a building that's built on a bad foundation? You know what they do? If they knock it down, right? They destroy the building, then they start it from the ground up again. That's why, if you ask any guru out there who knows what they're talking about, they will tell you it's much easier to take a brand new trader, year or less experience, 2 years less experience, and teach them how to really trade as opposed to somebody who's made millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars earlier on and then started losing it later in the career because they were ingrained with bad thoughts. So sometimes I could sit there and I could come to your bad foundation and let's just be clear. I've been making money every year. I had to knock down my own foundation because it was bad. It's not even always about making or losing money. It's about having the wrong mindset. Like You're talking to somebody who had to decimate 2014, 15 years worth of trading. My entire foundation had to level down to the ground. Are any of you familiar with Brio tracks? The little wooden tracks. I think they're originally from Switzerland. The little kids like to build the little train tracks and they connect together. You're familiar with Brio tracks? My son loves Brio tracks. You know what one of the most fun things to do with Brio tracks are? Destroy what you built, put them away, and start again. And I stopped and I looked at trading and I said to myself while I was playing with him, and I built my own track, and he is so damn good at building those tracks. I am just like blown away how it helps his imagination and creativity. That I came here tonight and said, you know what I want to do? I want to decimate your foundation. Now, I could show you things, I could show you psychological things. I could try to heal the foundation. I could try to, put blocks where it's weak on the foundation and hope that it holds. I could do that. I could do that really well. And it'll take a long time. Or I can knock down everything that you feel that you built up, take the experience of what you've learned from that, and help you build the strongest structure ever. It's not like you're starting from zero. You have the experience. You know how many 3-point shots Steph Curry misses before he hits them? Do you think he considers those misses and trying something new as a failure? Or was it part of the blocks that he needed to succeed? What I am saying, ladies and gentlemen, right now, if you want, I will turn you successful and I will show you exactly how, if you allow me to break down whatever foundation you were doing prior. A lot of the good stuff I build for people, they take what I teach them and they add it to their foundation, and sometimes they had a good foundation and they prosper higher. I met so many of the prop traders at T3 who are just best prop traders, my opinion, and they're just crushing it as prop traders at T3. And then there's 99% of other prop traders all over, and they fail. It's just an industry. It's not a secret. But what if it's not your fault? It's your financial responsibility. What if the entire foundation you built was based on the fallacy, the lies, and the hopium, like opium, but hopium? What if it was based on that of others? What if it was possible to take your entire experience and start over from the beginning? Not give up everything you worked hard for and throw it out. Break up the track you built and build a new Brio track. And every time my son does this, he gets better and better and better and better and better and better, and it's amazing. And there's a lot of scientific psychological research that proves the efficacy in what I'm trying to do. But this isn't a psychology class, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be the start of your future because 2020 is coming up. And I'm going to show you something right now of what you could have done today with us, what you could do with us tomorrow, and how you could actually start building your foundation properly. Now, the answers to building a foundation properly are very simple. The truth is, after I tell it to you, it's going to be so obvious and stupid, you're going to be like, well, I knew that. Really? I'm sure you did. Why didn't you do it? Because that's not even your fault why you didn't do it. Because you had gurus in the industry, educational courses in the industry, people in positions like mine who are coming to you and telling you fallacies, trying to instill those fallacies in you, and your mind is poisoned. Ladies and gentlemen, you could call it what you want. This is brainwashing to the worst extent that I have seen. This goes under the dictionary textbook definition of brainwashing. And it's not even brainwashing with malicious intent. This is brainwashing with a positive intent that has malicious results. It's even worse because it's hard to even see the negativity. I don't even want to use the word evil because it's not evil. Nobody wants you to fail. They just don't know how to make you succeed. And you being willing to pay people like me money to succeed, well, that's just too lucrative. I can't look the other way. So I have to teach you something because I want your money and I want you to make money. I want it to be a win-win situation. And that is the mentality of Wall Street. Now, I don't really have that mentality right now. I just want to help you. And whether or not you want to be part of my service, yeah, that I will make money if you join my service. That is not my intention with this video. My intention is to teach you how to literally take like the black bulldozer ball that you see on like the Bugs Bunny cartoons or whatever, and they just like smash against the buildings and knock them down. I bet I can knock down your foundation and you are going to grow stronger than you ever have before. You know what it's like? It's like uh, I could. One thing people don't know about Mark Melnick, I am if I wasn't a trader, I'd probably be a chef of a high-end Michelin-rated restaurant. I could do everything from sushi. I could roll sushi. I could do Thai food, Indian, expletive word. I could do Ethiopian food. I could do so many cuisines so well. And just even thinking analogically from my experience, how many dishes I screwed up royally. Do you realize how, I destroyed sashimi grade fish? By cutting it wrong, by not using an angle, by using the wrong knife. You just destroy the entire food, the way it tastes and everything. It sounds insane to even think that. So what did I do? Did I look at that as what I did before as a failure? I could. You failed. You destroyed a little piece of tuna this big, which cost me $85. Some sashimi grade tuna that I wanted to turn into rolls. But what did I learn? I learned how to do it correctly. And by learning how to do these things correctly, I was able to do better the next time. What if somebody never came to you with your failing results and said you are doing things incorrectly? They can't tell you that because you paid them to do it correctly in the first place. And if you paid somebody to teach you A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then they come to you and say, listen, you screwed up on A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You have to try something new now. Well, they would have egg on their face, wouldn't they, ladies and gentlemen? So I gave you a challenge. Every single morning now in the Newsbeat live room, it's new at 9:20 a.m., 10 minutes before the open. We share our favorite one and done ideas in the morning. Our favorite one and done ideas. Today there was a lot of Apple, there was a lot of Facebook, and there was a lot of Netflix. And I'm keeping the earnings names aside because it's not always going to be earnings season. So I'd rather just focus on the non-earnings names we are watching. And I just want to show you something. I'm going to show you Apple, Facebook, and Netflix, okay? Just three names. And you might be sitting there thinking, Apple, Netflix, those stocks are too expensive for me. Ladies and gentlemen, we have people with $1,000 accounts trading these things successfully through the options market. So please, please do not bring up any issues of buying power when I'm bringing up these names. That too would be a fallacy. You're not buying common stock if you have $1,000 account. You're not buying 3 shares of Apple, okay? All right. And I'm just giving you, of course, the most dramatic example. So Apple today, and I don't even want to show you the moving. I don't want this thing to be confusing. I just want to show you simply what it looks like on a 1 minute chart. I'm looking at a 1 minute chart of Apple. Here is where Apple opened today, right on this green bar. A one and done in Apple basically says that you are buying through the top of the first 1 minute candle that breaks. So here's the second 1 minute candle. As you can see in the top left, it's between 9:31 and it ends at 9:32 a.m. The time you see on top is the ending candle. This was the first candle of the day. You're simply buying through 279.73 at this candle, right through day highs. You're literally, I know, buy low, sell high. You're literally paying high and selling higher. And look, I get it. If you held it for a couple minutes, it would have shot up 80 cents, a dollar, whatever. I get that. I'm not even at that point with you. I want to prove to you that you need to get rid of your psychological toxicity before you're willing to build a foundation which could incorporate other strategies. Now, just logically, I gave the example of my son the other day. If you were learning how to do something for the first time, wouldn't you look for the easy way in before it gets hard? Have you ever played How many of you guys ever played Super Mario Brothers? I humbly believe it was the Japanese intent to ensure that every single kid in the world lost at their video games, because video games, when we started playing, were much more difficult than they are today. When you play a video game, you start on the early stages, it's easy, and then it gets a little harder, a little harder, a little harder, until you're at the very end where it's super hard. That is the basic theme of every single video game. That is the basic theme of school. What you learn in first grade, in kindergarten, is a lot easier than what you learned in college. I don't even think that's an opinion. I think, try to put a 4-year-old in college, and, unless they're, Doogie Howser or somebody obnoxious like that, then, they're going to have a hard time. Same thing comes to trading. Why do you think you're ready to make 20, 30, 40, 50 cents, a dollar, $2, $3 when you're not ready to make a dime? And you're going to stop and you're going to think, but I don't get it, Mark. Making 10 cents is not where I need to be in my life right now. You're right. Learning what you did in kindergarten is not what you needed in life either. Learning what you did in first grade is nothing that you needed in life either. Was it a waste of time? Then you went to second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth grade. Was that a waste of time? Seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th grade, 12th grade, senior in high school. Was that a waste of time? College. Oh, now all of a sudden, did you really learn anything in college? Ding! I'm a college dropout. But the point is, the ends justify the means. Baby steps, Kevin. Thank you. I can knock your foundation down and build you from the ground up if you allow me to. I could practically ensure your success as a trader if you allow me to. If you don't allow me to, I respect that as well. But when I go to sleep at night, I will go to sleep thinking that I tried my best to help you. Apple, can you make 10 cents? You tell me. Forget about the fact that thousands of us, thousands of us here in Newsbeat Live can do it. Forget about that. Can you buy through here and make 10 cents? It went from 279.73, and if you bought it through, it went to 279.90 on this 1 minute bar in within 60 seconds. It went against you at worst 10 cents with going 17 cents with you. Could have you made 10 cents on Apple? I'm not even, I could be that guru who says, oh, look, you went ahead and you bought through here. You write it up here. You set your stop at the bottom and you go ahead and you get stopped out here and you crush it. No, I'm not even talking to you like that. I'm just saying, can you make 10 cents on this trade? Can you do that for 2 weeks? Can you do it for 3 weeks, 4 weeks? If your answer is yes, I can show you how to become a millionaire at the end of this journey, or wherever your dream is. Maybe you need to make 100, 200,000 a year, 50,000 a year. Maybe you want to maybe you want to be a millionaire. Cool. I'm telling you, if you could follow what I am saying, this is just kindergarten. But if you're able to make 10 cents a day, you would be ranked in the top 99.99% of traders if you could do what I'm showing you 70% of the time or more. There are traders who are batting 100% this month on this strategy in the Newsbeat live room, hundreds of us. So when people tell you that you can't have a high hit rate and make money consistently, and it's a lie, run away as far as you can from those people as possible, because don't let anybody in this world ever tell you what you cannot do in this market. They are lying to you. They are doubtful in you, and it might be coming from a good place. Maybe they just simply don't believe it's possible. Maybe they don't believe it's possible to just take these silly names and make 10 cents. But you judge with your own eyes. Don't even take my word for it. How's that? Don't take anyone's word for it except for your own. Can you make, how many people here think that if they were focusing on Apple this morning, that they could have bought right here on the second candle through day highs and made 10 cents? How many people think they could do that? I think I could have done that. I think I could have done that. Ding, I know I could have done that. All right. The other two names we were watching were Facebook and Netflix. How many people could have bought through 203.37 here when Facebook went straight to 203.55, an 18-cent move? I get it. You're looking at the chart and like, Mark, it kept running dollars and dollars and dollars with little risk if you bought there early. That's amazing. Chill, chill, chill. That's not even what I'm asking for. I'm not looking to the right. I'm just looking at these two candles. That's it, bro. That's it. That's it, player. That's all you need to do. 18-cent move. How many people here think they could have made 10 cents on Facebook's one and done by buying through the high of the top of the 1 minute candle today? This guy right here could do it. Most of you think. Amy's like, I did it. In less than 30 seconds, she made 32 cents. Okay. I'm not even asking for that. I'm asking for less than a third of that, Amy. 10 cents is what I'm asking you to do. You buy a stock. Oh, where do I put my offer? Where's my stop? No, just put it 10 cents higher. Get the expletive out of the trade and move on with your life. Next is Netflix. This name, I think, a lot more volatile, moves more crazier than Facebook. Netflix went from $326.70 to $328 in 1 minute. $1.30. Do you think you could catch 10 cents in Netflix? Me? Yeah, I could do that. I could definitely do that. 10 cents? I'm not saying $1, $1.30. Not even saying 50, 10 cents. You can? You could become successful. I can literally hold your hand and build this foundation with you. By making this 10 cents, it's not the money you're making, ladies and gentlemen. Don't think this is the point of making money. The point is I'm going to strip and, not on camera, I'm going to strip away your psychological toxicity. I am going to remove all the negative crap that you've dealt with before. Mark, how long is it going to take? I don't know. How long have you been losing money for? How long have you been suffering psychological toxicity for? How easily do you release stressful situations? People like me, I bottle it in. People like others, they let it go. Maybe I'm psychologically risk averse because I know myself and it helps other people because some people don't have these psychology problems. Some people they're like, yeah, I can bet 40%, 50%, 55, 46% and I can make money and I'll be fine. But they don't realize that 98% of the people they're talking to can't do it. What do? Come, give me more money, have more stuff to sell you. Come. I'm gonna help you here. Let me show you all the good stuff about what I do. Let me show you my car. Let me show you my house. Let me show you all my winning days. Let me show you, me making out with people at the New York Stock Exchange. Whatever you want to see, I'll show it to you, and I'll prove to you that my little garbage strategy is gonna help you, even though it won't. Bop, 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 bop. Does that sound familiar? Like, Mark Melnick just talked about every single guru on Wall Street in one sentence. Here's this crazy Mark Melnick guy. You want to know why the things I'm going to tell you is going to work? Because nobody else is doing it and talking about it. Do you find that funny? Nobody else is talking to you like this. I know it. And I know this is all you need to be successful. You know, easy, I make $1,000 in the first 2 minutes of trading every day. You know, easy, I make $1,000 and it's just like, boop, P&L up, buy. Mark, that's amazing. No, it isn't. How do you do it? I just showed you. And if you could do that, I am going to strip away your psychological toxicity like an onion. How deep your onion is layered, you're all individuals. I have no idea. But the more and more you do this, the more confidence you're going to have, the more psychological toxicity you'll strip away, meaning the less psychological toxicity you'll have, and the more easily I'm going to be able to take you and bring you to the next level. But if your foundation is weak, if you're shaking at the knees from all the garbage that gurus like me, admittedly so, on Wall Street have thrown upon you, your chances for success are as close to as zero as possible. Right now, I'm going to teach traders a 1 minute strategy in my room of how to throw in limit orders. Newsbeat Live members now get exclusive content. They get exclusive education. You know what's funny? We always under promise over deliver here. One of the things that you know, my friends around me here at T3 tell me they're like, Mark, you could have just turned this into like, a million more courses and whatever, and you didn't need to do this and they would sell. And yeah, I get that. I get that. But at the same time, just maybe your success is more important than me squeezing another few $100s out of you, which I know that in our room you guys would gladly pay me this $300. If I offered a new course right now, 95% of you to 97% of you would sign up. And I know that. I can see the numbers. I know you all would. But how about this? If you're never part of our room, for $49, you could be a Newsbeat Live member today and access all of our educational comments and content that we give after this show ends. So, as much value as I bring to you on the show here, there's even more value that I do bring to our members. Keep striving, ladies and gentlemen. Keep thinking outside the box. Simplify your trading. Stop making things difficult. I am going to release my newest simple, effective, easy strategy to Newsbeat Live members now. There's a link in the description for the $49 a month. You could also email if you're interested, info@t3live.com. But I do hope you guys enjoy all the free content that I do bring you and will continue to bring you because I will always be here as long as I can to help you on your journey to become a successful trader. I hope you guys enjoyed this Newsbeat show. Slap the like button if you enjoyed this content. Happy trading, make money, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning on the Newsbeat Live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful evening.